Hey guys, welcome back. Digital Gate Studios. We got James back in the house. What do you got for us today?
Hello, I'm back in it for the BT13 Royal Knights.
Yes, cannot wait to see it.
Something very different than what I'm used to playing, but very much enjoying it. All right, well, we'll start with
Let me guess your A.
Yeah, which one is it?
Hmm.
Which one do we got? And it's going to be our King Drazzle 7d6.
Wow.
If it's feeling like a Yu-Gi-Oh card with that much text on it.
I know, right?
Yeah. But
it doesn't even have Mon in it. Like,
right?
what are we doing?
And then also the change the name from Yggdrasil to King Drazzle
I know.
too. So
I know.
I think they both sound cool. I switched between both of them, but censorship in America. So this has a billion different things it does during your breeding time. Essentially, it reduces the play cost of all your Royal Knights, so they're coming down for really cheap. And then it further reduces the Digi-Evolution cost by 1 for everything underneath it. So for an initial cost of 4 and then 1 extra, it just starts stacking slowly to make all your level 6s and all your Royal Knights cost nothing.
Crazy.
Tons of fun. And it also has an inheritable in the breeding area, which we'll get to later with the option card. But only 4 of, no reason to run anything else. If you run anything else, you're kind of crazy, but I respect it.
You don't want like a 1 random red one so you can start teching in like Gaia Force or something?
God.
Could you imagine? Now we're
I'm not here for the chaos. So we'll start off with the 3s, and I run 3 of the Sister Mont Blancs, where you pitch 1, draw 2. Really nice, good draw. If I start this with my opening hand, I'm sticking with whatever I got. As long as I start with drawing my opening hand, that's all I care about.
Yep.
And the decoy does come handy for spot removal, stuff like that for your Royal Knights and or your red-black stuff.
Yeah.
And we're going to be moving on to level 4s. Those are the only level 3s I run. Sister Mont CL. I like it for the search, and also the reboot does come in handy when you're doing those really extended turns if she's out.
Got it.
And you want to throw out your Omni and throw out your whole entire deck, then on top of that, she's going to be able to kind of protect things.
I see.
A little bit more. And a key level 4 is going to be Omekamon.
That's my favorite one right there. That's the only reason I'm excited to play this deck.
That's right. On play, draw a card, and then on deletion, you get to tuck a Royal Knight underneath your Drazzle. And then for my last level 4s, I run I have enough room here, 4 of the Magnamon.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, really good blocker, really great opening turn. This comes down for very cheap on your first turn, and it's always good just throw it down. When it leaves the field, you draw a card. So when Drazzle absorbs it, along with anything else, you get to draw a card.
That's
really,
awesome.
really good value.
Yeah, it's nice that they made like a gimmick deck like this. I mean, I don't want to say gimmick as in a bad word, right? But that's kind of like it's this whole thing where you actually get to draw cards.
Really non-linear.
Yeah, because it's one of those things where it's like a lot of times with these specialty decks, they don't give us the draw power, so you have to like go out of your way to add it in, but it's all built in.
Yeah, I feel like I said, anytime I start with any of my draws, it's looking good.
Yeah.
I want to draw on my first turn for sure. My favorite card in the deck, we're going to be switching right to our level 6s.
Let's go.
Is going to be Dynasmon, 4 of them.
Yeah.
The fact that 10 cost seems like so much doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Throw down turn 1 for 5 memory. I don't care. You search the top, I think it's 4, and then you grab 2 Royal Knights with traits. So it grabs your option, it grabs anything you need. This deck is all about having answers for whatever situation you're in. Like the versatility of this deck is quite insane. And then, and its best ability is blowing up all your opponent's level 4s when you play a Royal Knight. How silly of me.
That's insane. Yeah.
So things like Jessamon that I was playing against recently, blow up
all
all the
those
Sistermon, doesn't matter, Bloom Lord.
Yeah, because they play so many of those sun flows that just keep suspending themselves.
Yep. Dynaspawn will quickly take care of that for you. And then I think this is the pseudo boss Digimon of the deck, but it's going to be 3 of the BT13 Galamons.
Makes sense. I agree with that.
This card's insane. When it gets to late game and you've blown up your Drazzle, this card comes in really, really well. It can play itself for free just from graveyard reduction. Wow. And then on top of Drazzle reducing it, it's great to play it with the option, great to play with Genkumon. Tons of really great abilities. It has on play, when Digivolving and when attacking, you get to delete a 6,000 or less or 13,000 or more. It's going to hit. It's a little awkward when it doesn't hit something, but it also has Rush, so you're going to get value regardless.
Yeah, pretty nice it has Rush.
And then my kind of favorite tech that I saw is the BT12 Galamon.
Yeah, you showed me that, and I was like, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, the raid doesn't really come up, and it doesn't have Rush, but I enjoy tucking it with Omekamon, or if I don't really have a huge play, I'll play it, let Drazzle absorb it, keep it for later, ready for my ending turns, because Trash and Security is always going to be strong, especially in the current meta.
Yeah, because this deck is all about like you wait till that final push, you're doing all of your checks in one turn, and you just reduced the amount of attacks you have to do by one with those raid with or with the security trash. Excuse me.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and it's awesome. It makes so much sense.
And then moving on to a core Royal Knight is going to be Genkumon.
Yeah.
4 of him for sure. This is your Royal Knight's option card on a Digimon on steroids because you get the on-play effects. Really, really great. And he cannot play an Omnimon and he cannot play Genkumon, which balances it, right? Let's be real. But oh my god, playing out a Dynasmon, playing out a Galamon, you get all the abilities coming out at once with him. Great card. Is a blocker. Even better, can recur your Sistermons for whatever value you need there.
Yep.
Really great card. And then I run 2 Alphamon.
Okay.
Which I might be reducing down to 1, not sure. Just came up recently as being very useful. When it comes into play, you get to tuck a Royal Knight or an X antibody card underneath it. And then all your opponent's 10 costs or higher cannot attack. Which it's just good because like it stops Shine Gray. It's going to stop the Mirage Galgamon, the Rosemon. It will prevent your opponent from doing something. And on top of it, you could also strip the source and Drowsel can't absorb it. So if you want to keep it on the field, you have that option for an extra turn, which I find to be really fun.
Gotcha.
Especially for that last push. If you need the one extra check, it'll be there for you. Because there are not a lot of cards that are hitting these 11 to 13,000 level 6s. Not a ton. And then I run 3 Craniumon. Great card for blocking the fact that you can force your opponent's Digimon to attack, and then you can use it for blocking. And it's also unaffected by your opponent's Digimon effects. Really fun. I've been suggested to switch this out for one of the older Craniumon.
Some sort of splitter.
Everything.
Because
blanketed effect.
BT3 Craniumon is everything that has blocker cannot be deleted or by your opponent's effects. Yeah. Like DP reduction will still work.
Sure.
But it's I think it's all turns. I think it's all turns, and I think it's just permanent instead of going away after a turn.
And it's a good combo with we'll move right into it. Is the Leopardmon giving everything blocker. And that would be a really good combo. Gives it your whole blanketed effect of protection. Leopardmon is I feel like a sleeper card.
Yeah,
this card is great. Gives all your Royal Knights blocker, and it can further reduce something by 4.
Yeah, so then it's already so much cheaper to play.
Right, so you can play this sucker for free, and then play something else for a reduced cost of 4, just to get extra blocks or get extra on-play value. Really, really great. Don't underestimate this card, especially when you're getting towards the end and you're reducing. And then last, well, not last, but one of the last of these guys is 2 Ul Forces. I still think Stripping Sources is really strong.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the Shine Gray Inheritables go crazy when they start swinging and stuff. So I don't usually use this personally all that much. It might be get reduced down to a 1. I usually pitch it a lot with the Sistermon or something like that, or I'll tuck it with the option just for that extra push. Still solid overall, depending on the situation. And then moving into my one-ofs, I have 1 Jesmon. Great card. Will blow up pretty much anything when it comes down. It's great for getting rid of those pesky level 5s, even hitting 6s, and it buffs your entire board for all your Royal Knights. So if you go into your Omnimon play and this thing comes out, everything has plus 5,000, 6,000. Yeah, nothing's dying on your field. Really fun. I'm still testing the ratios. Maybe go up 1 to see it more consistently. But overall, great card. And then in Taurismon, I really like this card. It's just very finicky.
Yep.
Has very specific requirements, but gaining 3 memory when you have a 6 total security between you and your opponent goes a long way in this deck when you have a reduction of 10 plus.
Yeah.
Really, really fun. And then also it can attack unsuspend by trashing your own security. Really great as well. Gives something minus 7,000 DP. Also really strong. And it also recovers a yellow card. So, if I have a yellow card, a Magnamon, or one of my Tamers sitting in my hand, it's just a free recovery. So what I've kind of developed with this deck is trying to figure out having a card for every kind of situation that I need. And then for the last one I have a Lord Nightmon.
Yeah.
Good recursion, and then also its defensive ability of gaining memory. So, depending if you pass turn after your Omni play, which rarely happens, this can sit out there as a deterrent, for however much memory your opponent's willing to give up for attacking.
I gotcha.
And then for the final Digimon, I'm sure you guessed it, is going to be 4 Omni.
Makes sense to me.
Yep. You have to see it. You need 4 of. You got to see the Omni. It is very, very strong. Its first ability, you can pop any of your opponent's Digimon. Very strong effect. I do it all the time. There'll be times where I'll do that, tuck it, play it out with the option again, swing for rush. And then its second ability is blowing up your Drazzle. And then you play all the Royal Knights with different names from underneath it, and they all gain rush. They all get their on-play effects. They get everything. I mean, it's just a massive destruction of your opponent. And you can do it as early, if you're playing your cards right, as early as turn 4. I mean,
That's
like the
crazy.
second that last
That's crazy.
Razzle is absorbed and you're playing Royal Knights in between all those, I mean, it just comes down and destroys. Really, really great. Really enjoy it. And then for option cards for the Royal Knights of the Purge, I was playing this card wrong when I first got it, but you play, you draw a card, and then you get to tuck a Royal Knight.
Wow.
Very strong, accelerates the deck. And Drazzle's inherited ability gains you a memory for every Drazzle underneath it. So this, when you have all your Drazzles absorbed, you get it for 3 as opposed to 6. Really strong, great way to pass turn. I played this thing on turn 1 for 5 memory.
Yeah.
You're just going to get value out of it.
It's
It sits there. You can crack it and then get a Royal Knight from underneath. Don't get its on play effects, but it gains rush, and it's going to be a 11 to 14,000 body. So it's going to be potentially a free check.
Oh yeah.
Really fun. And then for my last is going to be Marcus.
There you go.
5 cost Marcus. A lot of people are asking why I run this. It's so you get rid of floodgates. Your Psychmons, Solarmons, things that prevent reduction. Get rid of it that way. He'll come down, delete it.
Pillowmon, Palmumon. Yeah, there's just so many cards that just can shut this down. And so when I first started seeing people tech the Marcus, I was like, why are they doing that? But it's literally just play it, spend it.
Yep,
Get rid of it.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I've had a suggestion from one of my friends to put in the white matte and tie to get my Omnimon plus extra security. Really fun, kind of gimmicky, but why not? This deck is, you can do anything you want. You can play with all the Royal Knights.
Yeah.
You can take some out, have 4 of all your favorite ones. I mean, the best part about this deck is that it's so non-linear that you can go any which way.
Yeah. If you have a different Ulforce, for example, just one I'm looking at right now, you want to play, put that in, like how you put in that Gallimon instead of Jesse was experimenting with BT2.
Right. Yeah.
Right. There's all sorts of different combinations you can do.
There is no set list for this deck. There are standards for it with your Omnis, and I think the Gallants are non-negotiable.
That's a 3 of.
Yeah, but I think everything else, you can do whatever you want with it. You can make the deck however you want, and that's what the part I enjoy about it. The non-linearness of it, and having a option for almost anything. And there's still things I don't know. I mean, I don't know all the Royal Knights, so everything is mostly from BT13. I have yet to explore anything after
Like
before that.
Well, you probably won't play BT3 Leopardmon if I were to guess. That one's not that great. But yeah, no, BT3 Granimon could be insane. You got tons of cool options.
Yeah, this deck is like, it finally revitalized my interest back in Digimon since Massamon is still in the dark. So it's been a really fun to play. Tons of options, tons of really great ways to play this, and I got 3rd at the most recent locals I went to with it.
That's sick. Okay.
At the beginning of BT13, so it performed really well.
Yeah,
and I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Let us know in the comments what you think of this deck, what your favorite Royal Knight is, and which secret tech you got that we haven't seen coming. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and everybody, thanks James so much for coming, and we can't wait to have him on again. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.